What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be talking about the founder of the clothing brand, Hugo Boss. In this video, we will discuss the history and the story of Hugo Boss. If you are interested in stories like this, then make sure to stay with me till the very end. Also, let's aim for 1,000 likes on this one. With that said, drop a like, leave a comment, and let's get started. So, Hugo Boss is a German brand founded by Hugo Boss in 1923. Today, it is one of the leading brands of luxury menswear in the world. It designs, produces, and sells men's and women's clothing, leather goods, watches, fragrances, eyewear, and other fashion accessories. It is a public limited company with a dual headquarters in Metzingen and Hamburg, Germany. Metzingen houses the company's main production facilities, as well as its primary design offices. Hugo Boss has been listed on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange since 1987. The shares of the company are included in the MDAX index. As of January 2022, Daniel Grieder is the current CEO of Hugo Boss. The Hugo Boss brand was created in 1924. When Hugo Boss opened a small tailor shop in his hometown of Metz, Germany. In 1936, he introduced a new type of uniform for German youth organizations, which helped him gain recognition. This brought in some much-needed revenue, and the company grew steadily throughout the following decades. After World War II, Hugo Boss expanded his business into ready-to-wear clothing. He also began selling his products outside of Germany. Despite facing criticism for his past business dealings during the war, which included producing uniforms for Hitler's youth movement, Hugo Boss's clothing quickly gained popularity. By the 1960s, the company had become one of the most successful menswear brands in Germany. In 1972, Hugo Boss was one of the first companies to introduce a men's fragrance, which became an instant success. However, the founder passed away in 1978. But thankfully, the company continued to grow under the leadership of his son-in-law, Klaus D. Under his leadership, Hugo Boss expanded into new product categories such as shoes, leather goods, and watches. The company also went public in 1987. By the 1990s, Hugo Boss had become a global brand with a presence in over 70 countries. Today, Hugo Boss remains one of the leading brands of menswear in the world. It is known for its high-quality clothing and accessories for both men and women. The company continues to innovate and evolve while staying true to its German heritage. So, Hugo Boss was born in 1885 in the small village of his father was a miller and his mother was a homemaker. When Hugo was 13 years old, his family moved to Stuttgart where he attended high school. After graduating, Hugo worked for a time as a tailor. Before being drafted into the army, he served in World War I and was wounded in action. After the war, Hugo returned to civilian life and began working as a tailor again. In 1923, he opened his own shop in Metzingen, Germany. The shop was small, but it was the start of what would become a very successful business. When Hugo Boss first opened his shop, he only had a few employees, but word of mouth quickly spread about the quality of his clothing and his business began to grow. In the early 1930s, he began producing uniforms for German youth organizations. This proved to be a lucrative business, and it allowed him to expand his shop and hire more employees. By the start of World War II, Hugo Boss was a well-established businessman in Germany. However, his relationship with the Nazi Party would prove to be controversial. During the war, he produced uniforms for Hitler's youth movement, the Hitler Youth. This part of his business helped him to stay afloat during tough economic times, but it has also led to accusations that he was profiting from the Nazi regime. After the war, Hugo Boss was tried for his business dealings with the Nazis, but he was acquitted of all charges. Despite the controversy surrounding his business dealings during the war, Hugo Boss's clothing quickly gained popularity in the years following the war. His clothing was seen as a symbol of quality and sophistication, and he quickly became one of the most successful menswear designers in Germany. In the 1960s, Hugo Boss expanded his business into ready-to-wear clothing. This allowed him to reach a wider audience, and his clothing soon became a staple in many German men's wardrobes. He also began selling his products outside of Germany. By the 1970s, Hugo Boss had become a household name in Europe. In 1972, Hugo Boss did something that had never been done before. He introduced a men's free. This was a risky move, as no one was sure how the market would react. But it turned out to be a huge success and helped to propel the company to new heights. Unfortunately, Hugo Boss passed away in 1978, but his legacy lives on through the Hugo Boss brand. The company continues to be one of the leading men's wear brands in the world and is known for its high-quality clothing and accessories for both men and women. Klaus Dietrich is the man who took Hugo Boss to new heights after Hugo Boss's death. He is the son-in-law of Hugo Boss, and he joined the company in 1968. When he first joined the company, it was a small family-run business, but Klaus had big plans for the company. He knew that there was potential to grow the business and make it into a global brand. One of the first things that Klaus did was to expand the product line. When he took over the company, Hugo Boss only sold men's clothing, but Klaus felt that there was a need for a high-quality menswear brand in the market. So, he decided to expand the product line to include shoes, leather goods, and watches. This proved to be a wise decision, as it allowed the company to reach a wider audience and increase its profits. In addition to expanding the product line, Klaus also focused on growing the company's international presence. When he took over the company, Hugo Boss was mainly a German brand, but Klaus had plans to take it global. He began by opening stores in neighboring countries such as Austria and Switzerland. Then he expanded to other parts of Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. Today, Hugo Boss has a presence in more than 70 countries around the world. Another key decision that Klaus made was to go public. In 1987, Klaus took the company public and listed it on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. This allowed the company to raise capital to fund its growth and expansion plans. It also made Hugo Boss one of the first German fashion companies to be traded on the stock market. Under Klaus's leadership, Hugo Boss experienced tremendous growth. The company went from being a small family-run business to becoming one of the leading men's wear brands in the world. In fact, today, Hugo Boss is one of the largest fashion companies in Europe. After Klaus retired, the company continued to thrive under the leadership of new CEO Mark Langer. Under his leadership, Hugo Boss has continued to grow and innovate. The company has continued to expand its product line and open new stores around the world. Hugo Boss has also become a major player in the online retail space. They have a strong social media presence, and their website is one of the most popular destinations for men's fashion. Hugo Boss is a true German success story. The company was founded in Germany and has remained headquartered there ever since. Even though it is now a global brand, Hugo Boss still maintains its German roots. The company is known for its high-quality clothing and its commitment to excellence. Hugo Boss is a brand that is synonymous with sophistication and style. From its humble beginnings in a small tailored shop to its current status as a global brand, Hugo Boss has come a long way. The company has a rich history that dates back almost a century, and it is a history that is filled with innovation, hard work, and success. Alright, so that was the history and the story of Hugo Boss. If you liked this video, then make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys in the next one.